speaking of spending and saving, a major victory for House Republicans and Speaker Mike Johnson after a multi-trillion-dollar budget bill passes. But it was not without drama. Speaker Johnson kept the floor open for over an hour while corralling Republican holdouts after it looked like the bill was going to fail. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales joins us now with reaction and what's next. Erik.
Well, good evening, Tracy. Yes, lots of drama up here on Capitol Hill. First of all, Speaker Johnson could not have gotten this massive funding bill over the finish line without the help of President Donald Trump. I've learned that the president personally called the GOP lawmakers who were against it during the vote, and they eventually changed their mind to a yes.
The ayes are 217, the nays are 215. Majority voting in the affirmative, the concurrent resolution is adopted.
After all the drama, the funding bill passed by just one vote, 217 to 215. The question now, will the Senate agree to the House version, which includes $1.5 trillion in spending cuts and a $4 trillion debt limit hike? First of all, the House and Senate will still have to agree on an overall spending number before a deal can be reached. So Speaker Johnson and the Senate Majority Leader John Thune are meeting to find a compromise budget resolution that could eventually win support from conservative House Republicans who were against attempts to scale back spending cuts.
This is the first important step in opening up the reconciliation process. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us, but we are going to deliver the America First agenda. We're going to deliver all of it, not just parts of it, and this was the first step in that process.
One critical fight will be over cuts to popular safety net programs, especially Medicaid, which covers more than 70 million people and is the nation's largest health insurance program.
Almost every single House Republican signed their names to what would be the largest Medicaid cuts in American history. The havoc, the damage that would do to tens of millions of American families would be almost unprecedented.
Republicans say the word Medicaid isn't even in the bill and will not be touched, but DOJ will go after fraud.
I know America doesn't want fraud, waste, and abuse. We see the abuse in USAID. We see it in programs. We see it in the spending. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, it's no different. If there's fraud, waste, and abuse, we have an obligation to go after it.
Democrats fired back, saying there's no way to hit the $1.5 trillion in cuts without gutting Medicaid, which could leave millions of Americans without health insurance coverage.
It's very bad for workers, for regular folks. It certainly enhances the billionaires and the millionaires.
Meanwhile, as Owen Jensen reported, President Trump's first cabinet meeting took place today, and it's making news up here on the Hill. The work of Elon Musk and his government efficiency group and the hot-button topics such as mass firing of government workers, takeover of agencies, lawsuits, and more. Well, Musk was in attendance sitting away from the table of the secretaries, but Democrats tell me that he shouldn't even have been there in the first place.
I mean, who next? Vladimir Putin? I feel like Donald Trump is turned over the reins of this country to people who were unelected, to these billionaire oligarchs.
Well, as I recall, in the last administration, Jill Biden ran cabinet meetings. So I'm not sure that there's much of a precedent to complain here.
An interesting point there from Republicans. Meanwhile, Musk did say that he will continue to downsize the government and aims to cut $1 trillion from the $6.7 trillion federal budget. He did say that another round of emails could come soon. At the Capitol, Erik Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.